Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and I figured why not watch Raw before WrestleMania? You know, it's taking all the hype. I'm gonna watch the show. Why not watch the Raw for the lead-in? So, I haven't watched the full Raw in a while, and I watched this on YouTube. I watched it through the clips. I still wasn't gonna dedicate all my time to 3 hours. 3 hours, even a pre-Mania Raw. I'm still not going to tolerate 3 hours of pure bullshit. It's not going to happen. So, figured the best thing is just watch all the videos on YouTube. Just make sure that, going into this show, I know exactly what's going on. I've followed it. I just haven't watched all the clips. So, I've got a pretty good idea of how this show's going to be. You've got a couple of good matches. You're probably going to have some good moments. Somebody probably from the Hall of Fame might even pop up. Maybe if they're smart, you'll probably get a Kurt Angle moment somewhere on the show. Someone will get locked in the ankle lock or get an angle slam. That's what I'm banking on. Or maybe DDP might come out, hit a diamond cutter on someone. You'll get some type of legends. Last year you had, Austin, Mick Foley, and Shawn Michaels coming out to beat up on Wade Barrett and what was the League of Nations. They're always going to have moments like that. So we might have a pretty decent show. I'm going to say it's probably going to be better than last year's show as a whole. So let's take a look at this show. Let's analyze it. It's been a while. People have asked me to do Raw reviews. Some people have said forget about Raw reviews. Just move on, Brad. Well, before we move on completely, let's go back and have another Raw review for old time's sake. So we start off with Bayley in the ring. And, seeing Bayley again is just, it's like seeing a person that you haven't seen in a very long time. Say somebody you used to work with. I had someone like this very, very recently. That an old job I used to work at. I used to hate this guy. Hated him. Annoying as shit. And then I'm at the gym and I see him. I see this guy I haven't seen in years. And I never thought that I'd see him again. And then I see him. It's kind of like the same thing. She shows up and oh my God, there's Bayley once again. And she has got to be one of the most annoying characters I've possibly ever seen. I don't understand why this girl has so many fans. It looks like even the smarks, the internet fans, are even souring on her. Her whole side ponytail, the whole attitude of just like it's almost creepy in a way. It's like her character is to act like a little girl. I said it even when she's in NXT. She's a good wrestler, she's good in the ring, but the whole personality of the goofiness, and when she used to come out with those, whatever those things are called that they put outside of, car dealerships, to waving around in the wind, those little, whatever the fuck they're called, it's hard to watch a Bayley promo. She's just, I don't know, the whole thing is they want her to be likable. She's this big baby face. They made kids are at ringside with their ponytails, and like they're gonna get behind them. Why can't we have a baby face like Bret Hart, putting the sunglasses on the kids and still be cool? Why does every baby face have to act like a fucking retard, like a like a child, basically? Why does it always have to be so childish, like New Day, bright colors and nonsense? For someone to be a hero, they don't have to look like a goofball. So she's in the ring. Charlotte comes in. Charlotte's like the mean girl. Then you've got Sasha Banks coming in there, and Nia Jax. And I am just, I'm out of all these people, I like Charlotte. I really, I used to like Sasha Banks, but she's just annoying as hell. All of them, very, very annoying. I wish that they'd have Nia Jax, like, destroy all of them. Because, you know, if this was a real-life scenario, Nia Jax is like 100, 150 pounds more than these girls. She could crush them all. And, you know, I don't know why they even have Bayley as champion now. They should have just kept the belt on Charlotte, a more reputable champion, looks more like a champion, instead of this child that's Bayley. I mean, how dislikable. I can't believe her whole character is supposed to be that she's likable, and she's so dislikable. Now the crowd doesn't even like her, and you know, you can't go by this crowd. The crowd, this Philly crowd, how annoying was this crowd? Extremely annoying. You know, they wanted Bayley to be champion. They turned on Charlotte, and now they don't even cheer for Bayley. These fans don't even know what the hell they want. They chant for one thing, and then when they get it, they do, you know, they turn on the person. You know, this is WWE's problem. See, this is why they never used to listen to the fans, because one segment of fans is going to want a completely different thing than another segment of fans. So you're best just doing what you think is best, but except the only thing is, creative is complete shit. And I've explained this time and time again. This is why they're going to get nowhere in this company. They listen to the fans, they go wrong. They listen to themselves, they go wrong. They're never going to get it right. So now you've got a fatal four-way. I'm sure there's going to be some good wrestling in this match, but you know, it's going to go back to square one. Once again, it's going to be Charlotte and Sasha to the end of time. It's like this feud doesn't want to end. You know, I stopped watching regularly months ago, and this feud is still going on. It's still going on. Even though, you know, I left it, it's like coming back to a nightmare. You know, perhaps things might have changed a little bit, but I still saw it, you know, on YouTube. I still saw the videos. I didn't click on them, but I still see every week Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, the same stuff over and over again. And it's the same things. They're going to put out the... Speaking of same things, we're going to get to that on this show, because there was a lot of same shit, different day on this show. A whole bunch of same shit, different day going on. You had Austin Aries defeating Noam Dar. What a fucking name is that? Alicia Fox is in here. What do they do? They change. I don't think I even talked about this when I was doing Raw reviews regularly with the Cruiserweight division. They change the ropes in the middle of the show, and then they just change them right back after that. Huh? Like, I don't know. Just keep the Cruiserweight garbage on 205 Live. I like Austin Aries. Yes, I still like Austin Aries. But him being in the Cruiserweight... I know many people make the argument, but Brad, he is the Cruiserweight. Like I said, there's no point in having a Cruiserweight division. Can I talk about this for a second here? What is the point of having a Cruiserweight division when you've already had guys like Finn Balor win the world title? People will make the argument, well, that's why they created the Universal title, because the Universal title means that it's not a heavyweight title, as opposed to, you know, what they have on SmackDown. But I think that's just called the world title. Whatever it is, you know, we've already established that wrestlers who are at the Cruiserweight weight are definitely, they definitely already won the world titles already, like Finn Balor, like Seth Rollins. So what is the point, pray tell, of having a Cruiserweight division when you've already had people outside the division win titles that are more prestigious than the Cruiserweight title? Makes no sense at all. So why go back again to, you know, doing this garbage with the Cruiserweight division, which we all know is going to fail anyway? Who seriously is watching 205 Live, especially with a goofy name like that? Who is watching this show? You know, you've got the ratings falling for Raw. They're up and down every single week, and you're going to release another show. I don't understand who would want to watch this show with these these guys know how to wrestle. It's quite obvious, but it's like no character, no nothing. They don't even know what they want to be. Fans were complaining there's not enough wrestling on this show. Too much talking. God forbid they try to develop characters for these vanilla midgets. And you know, to borrow a very, very infamous phrase from Kevin Nash, vanilla midgets. They try to put a little bit more into these characters, and the fanboys complain. And now they say they're going to do more wrestling. Any single time they try to put character, develop characters, create storylines, the fans complain, not enough wrestling. I'm sorry, you know, it's just got to be wrestling and nothing else. This is what I've been saying for a while now, for over a year. The internet fans have hijacked WWE. They've hijacked Raw. It's a little bit better on SmackDown, but on Raw, they've completely taken this shit over. There's no storylines. It's all straight wrestling. The internet fans get their way. You know, like I said, it's become a glorified indie show. And so Austin Aries beats Noam Dar. Total nonsense. You know, having this division, making like completely a different world. When we already know that a guy like Austin Aries could very easily win the world title, because people in his weight class have already won the damn belt how many fucking times. So, like I said, I still like Austin Aries, but, you know, there's no point in throwing him in this division where he's going to get lost in the shuffle anyway. They've got too many of these guys that look all the same. You know, but and it's going to be on the pre-show anyway, where no one's even going to notice Austin Aries. They do a whole show of 205 Live, and now I see they're just going to throw the Cruiserweight belt on the pre-show like it doesn't even matter. Pre-show means it doesn't matter, basically. If it was meant to be observed by many people, if it was really that crucial to the card, it'd be on the main show. When the fireworks go off and everything, it would come after that. It would not be on the pre-show before, you know, when everybody's still getting their nachos together, you know, and getting their beer out of the fridge and taking their, you know, their prior bathroom break. You know, that's what people are doing before Mania comes on, like the Super Bowl. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on before the actual show starts. You know, that stuff doesn't get talked about. Nobody comes back years later and says, hey, remember that pre-show match? No, nobody talks about pre-show stuff. So they're wasting their time. Triple H and Rollins are having their signing, contract signing for the unsanctioned match. We haven't had one of these unsanctioned matches in a long time. The one with Shawn Michaels in 2002 at SummerSlam comes to mind. So, you know, Triple H gives, you know, Rollins a speech that he's the disappointment. We've heard this speech 1,000 times again. I feel like this match should have happened years ago. They took way too long putting this match together. I guess, you know, it was because Rollins was injured. I think they were originally going to do this match probably at last year's Mania. Okay, so they're doing it now. And I don't really feel like a lot of people care about this feud. Like, if this was years ago and there was way better writing, there would be a lot of hype. And what I'm saying, I'm watching this show, and I do not, so far, I don't feel like it's Mania season. And I've said this last year, and I've said it the year before. It never feels like Mania season. It never feels like I'm about to jump in to a big Mania. You know, it feels like I'm transitioning into Roadblock or some other throwaway pay-per-view. It doesn't, and it's like this for every pay-per-view. And it's really sad that Mania, the biggest show of the year, this is the Super Bowl of wrestling. You would think that they'd put a little bit of effort into it. There's no excitement. The announcers sound bored. So Triple H kicks the desk into Rollins' knee. He pedigrees him. So, I mean, it's interesting. They're going to have a bit of an element here to it that, you know, Triple H is going to have to work on the injured Rollins. You know, he's going to try to capitalize by working on the injured knee. So it adds a little bit of psychology. Oh, remember that? Psychology. Remember when they used to have that in wrestling? Well, it looks like we might at least get that here at Mania. So that's a good thing. Not a bad segment, but like I said, I'm not going to lie and say it was a great one, that it really excited me. It's like there's no testosterone, there's no excitement, there's no energy in this show. It's just, you know, it's throwaway stuff, basically. You know, I'm not excited for this match. It's just everything is so low-key in the WWE that when they do something like this, and we don't even care. Can you truly say that you care and that you're pumped for this match? No one is pumped for this whole entire show, unless you're completely just unaware of just how poor quality things are nowadays. So up next, you had Big Show in the over-the-top rope challenge. This is like, you know, a little bit of an appetizer for the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You know, who do I think is going to win this? If they don't let Braun Strowman win this, then it's a fucking joke. I think he will win it. You got Jinder Mahal in there, a bunch of other jobbers, Bo Dallas, you know, random people thrown in there. They all get together, they throw Big Show out. Big Show comes in and starts choke slamming people, punching them. Braun Strowman comes on the, you know, on the entry ramp, and he says that he's going to, he could go down there and kick Show's ass, but he's gonna wait till Mania. You know, this just felt so disjointed. You ever just sit back with some of these segments and just be like, that was just total fucking garbage? Did anybody walk away from this and see all those jobbers and like, how uneventful? Braun Strowman and Big Show maybe could slug it out a little bit before the Battle Royal, but no, it's, we're going to wait to Mania. So many of those moments of just missed opportunities, and I am building up towards the end of this show, where I'm going to tell you exactly just how this show is so low-key. This show should have fucking high energy. It should be an amazing show. I had somebody tag me recently, a friend of mine on Facebook, Matt Besner, and he tagged me in the WrestleMania 17 Austin Rock promo video, where if you watch that video, you'll get chills of just how exciting that feud was. Like I said, it's my favorite Mania of all time. My favorite Mania match of all time, Austin Rock. Now, it's not just because it was Austin Rock, but it was the way the video was put together, the way they led up to the feud. It's a shining example among many fans, such as myself, who feel that WWE has just completely dropped the ball and doesn't know how to do good business anymore. That's how you did good business. That's how you got pay-per-view buys. By adding excitement and energy into the show, which they just don't do anymore. That was excitement. You got excited when you watched the video. You got excited when you watched the promo. You felt like you invested a good amount of time into this, and there was going to be a big payoff. And there was. WrestleMania 17 is widely regarded as a fan favorite. Many people will say that is their favorite Mania. Some people that try to be a little different will bring up 19, but we all know that 17 was pretty much the best. Many people agree on it. So you look at a thing like a Battle Royal with Strowman, you're like, okay, but how can you compare that to Austin Rock? But that's not the point. I'm saying that you look at, there was nothing like on the WrestleMania 17 card that was this shitty. At least they put effort into it. Like, take a look at WrestleMania 18. You had a match that a lot of people like to make fun of, and they were even making fun of it on, Wrestling with Regret, for example. Booker T and Edge, wrestling over a shampoo commercial. But you look at it, and you're like, at least these guys wanted to give this match a story. It might have been a little bit ridiculous, but it was at least funny. And the thing is, that even though they're talking about how bad it is, how bad that storyline is, it is still being talked about for years to come. And even though it's negative, it's still memorable. So they succeeded in their job. That's what I'm saying. At least it was memorable. You remember that it was goofy, but at least the creative knew that they had to get a creative story in there. They had to give a reason for the match. They wanted to have a reason for it. They didn't want to just throw anything out there. So at least they gave a reason. Now, it might have not been a good reason. It might have not been a good storyline or a quality storyline, but at least it was something. They don't even try. That's the point here. There's no trying. There's no effort at all. There's no effort whatsoever. It's just thrown out there. Here you go. There's your match. And, you know, there you go. There's your match. No effort at all. And it's not going to change anytime soon. I mean, when it gets to this point, when I'm watching a segment like this that is completely bumming me out to this extent, I'm like, there is no hope for this company. New Day is going to be your special host at Mania. So it's like they waste all this time with New Day and they don't even have a match for them. So let's make them the hosts. So you're telling me last year Mania, whatever it was like a 5-hour show. This is not even counting the pre-show. It was like a 4.5-hour show, a 5-hour show. It used to be 4 hours. It was 5 hours now. And now we're gonna have to put up with New Day for 5 fucking hours. Are you kidding me? At least give them a match. If they could have the match and they'll be out of there in 10 minutes, that would have been at least tolerable. But now you're telling me they're going to be throughout the show doing goofy skits? That, you know, are they going to be doing goofy shit with Bailey and all that? Count me out. I'm going to be watching this show, but expect me to bash the hell out of it if that happens. They're going to annoy people. You know, it's bad enough they give us a shitty hype on the show, but they're going to give us terrible guest hosts. And I'm also looking at the musical acts they have. How many times are they going to put Flow Rider on the damn show? They're going to have all these acts, you know. But, and what a shallow pool of musicians that they pick. Pitbull, Flow Rider, you know, Florida, Georgia Line. I mean, come on. Can these guys at least pick one metal act or hard rock group, for fuck's sakes? Would it kill them? How, you know, what happened to Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit and Motorhead performing? They don't want to do that anymore? I mean, like, is this who's in the audience? Is everybody listening to Flow Rider? The last time he was there, he barely got a reaction. So I don't know why they keep on bringing in these musical guests, thinking it's going to, like, add more to the excitement. It's not at all. They keep, I don't know, like, who they're trying to cater to. This is what I don't understand with their shows. They're trying to cater to the hardcore wrestling internet fans. Then they're getting these mainstream music acts. It doesn't add up. Like, seriously, like, what are they trying to pull off here? You know, if they're... I'm like sometimes completely lost on the strategy that they're going for. They don't know what kind of company they want to be. That's the problem. So New Day is running up steps. You know, they're trying to do the Rocky thing. Big E is eating cereal. They're ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. What excitement for Mania. Who's excited? But no one is. Then you had Neville defeating Gallagher. Once again, this guy with the goofy-ass name. And I'm just looking at Gallagher. Just look at this motherfucker. The body on this guy, the umbrella, it never stops. I don't know why they keep putting this guy on my TV. Like I said, it's completely just preposterous that a guy like this could be featured so much on TV, and I'm supposed to take him seriously. The guy does not even look like a wrestler. He's like some random guy they pulled out of a pool in the Speedo. Yeah, like some goofball at a swim club or something. You know, with a little Speedo on, with an umbrella, with an accent in there, you know, just telling him to do goofy shit in the ring. Like I said, he's a good wrestler, but you look at this guy, and you're like, the guy doesn't even work out. He doesn't even look like a wrestler. He doesn't even have a look to him at all. Why are they employing this guy? All the wrestlers that they could get, all the hopeful wrestlers, guys that they could bring back from the past, you know, this is who they go with. It's like very perplexing. Why settle on a guy like Gallagher? Why put so much time and invest so much time into a guy like Gallagher? And again, this is a match I've already seen at Fastlane. Why am I watching it again? If this was a pay-per-view match, why are they giving it away on a regular episode of Raw? So you got Neville. He does the Perry Saturn. He makes him tap out. Austin Aries gets on the Titantron with New Day, and now he's hanging out with New Day. Like this is gonna make him popular. This guys, New Day is so stale. I can't stand them anymore. Every single time they get them out there, the material. How many times are they gonna do the hoo 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 things? Enough is enough already. That shit was annoying the first time. It was maybe funny the first couple of times they did it, but they keep doing the same thing. It's like a bunch of, you know, man children, and it's not endearing. They're not Pee Wee Herman. Maybe that's what they want to try to make them be like. Whatever it is, it's annoying as hell, and it needs to stop. This act needs to be removed. The bright, colorful shirts, the brony shit, it's just maddening. How could a guy like Big E, this big, muscular guy, be caught doing this with fucking unicorn horns on his forehead? I just cannot even believe that a guy like that would sign up for this. Well, makes money. Okay, well, I understand that. But the thing is, it's just like they have no self-respect anymore. They have no respect for their talent, making them do this goofy shit. It's over, but it's over with who? The crowd? Well, you know, the moronic crowd that can't stop chanting CM Punk for 2 minutes during a fucking promo. CM Punk is not coming back, and CM Punk hates your guts. To all fans, let's just say this once and for all. If you were real CM Punk fans and you knew what kind of a guy he was, he doesn't like you. CM Punk is an asshole, and he does not like you fans. He thinks you're annoying. And, you know, can you imagine? CM Punk needs to make a public broadcast to everybody. Everybody chanting his name, he should say, is a bunch of losers. He needs to come out and say it once for all. Come on, Punk. Get on Twitter, make a video on YouTube, open up a channel, and tell these fans off already. Tell them to shut the fuck up already. Stop ruining people that are trying to do their jobs. People like Charlotte trying to cut a promo, and these idiots are chanting CM Punk. Do they even want CM Punk, or they're just doing it because... Stop spending money on the show. Stop paying to go to a show just so you can make annoying chants. Do you really have that little to do in life that you have to ruin people's careers because, you know, you can't control yourselves? What a bunch of fucking babies. They have to come to a show. They're so bored out of their mind that they have to go to a wrestling show just to harass people trying to do their jobs. It's like going to a comedian that you don't like and heckling him through his whole act. I don't like Amy Schumer, but do I go to her stand-up acts, you know, just so I can, you know, harass her and call her a fat cow? No, I don't. I choose not to go. Why? Because I don't like it. I don't like her, and I don't like her comedy. So I'm not going to go to it. Instead, I'm going to not go to it because that makes sense. But apparently, the wrestling fans, they don't think that that's the right way to go. Instead, I don't like this product. I'm going to go to it. I'm going to spend my money on it anyway. What a bunch of retards. And I've said it time and time again. So Roman Reigns is in the ring. You know, he's saying that he's going to beat the Undertaker. Taker does a skit. You know, he's got on the Titantron, Roman Reigns' name is on a tombstone. He starts shoveling dirt in. It was a pretty good segment. And then he comes into the ring, and he's there, and the segment kind of ends. There's no brawl or anything. I don't really get that. How they could just be standing in the ring and that's it. There's no offense. There's no fighting or anything between these two big dudes. It was an alright segment, but it just, once again, it ends with zero energy, zero excitement. It's like there, but once again, I don't feel excited towards the end of it. It's just there. They're doing something a little differently. I appreciate the effort with the tombstone and the digging of the dirt, but, nothing happens. It's uneventful. There's nothing to cap it off. Then you've got the tag teams getting in a little skit. They look like they're going to have a match, but Cesaro and Sheamus run out with a ladder. Earlier in the night, they were attacked backstage with a ladder by Gallows and Anderson. So, they brawl a little bit. It was an alright segment, but, was there a match scheduled? What was going on? Nothing's even ever mentioned. So, let's just move on, basically. Nothing's addressed. But it was alright. So I guess maybe they're going to change this match to a ladder match, I guess. Instead it was going to be a three-way, now there's going to probably be a ladder match to make it. Every year at Mania they've had a ladder match, so I guess maybe they're going to have another one now. You had Sami Zayn and defeating Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn's job on the line. Stephanie made him wrestle for his job here. So, didn't they have a match months ago saying that this was going to be their last match and they would never wrestle again? And here we go again. Again with this match. Again. How many times are we going to see this match? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I mean, are they seriously putting this match out right before Mania? Mania should be a time where it's the culmination of, everything that's good about WWE. I'm not saying it's a bad match. Like, it's not that this was a bad match. It's just, my God, how many times are they going to show this shit? 1,000 times, over and over and over. It's the same moves. It's the same story. Sami Zayn is still the same boring jobber that he's always been. Like I said, good wrestler, but my God, I've never seen somebody more vanilla. I've never seen anybody so plain. Just like, above average wrestler, but just average looking. I mean, like I said, again, it's like Gallagher. He's, bigger than Gallagher, but the same thing. The guy doesn't even look like he's dedicated to his profession. He doesn't work out. He just, he looks like everybody else. Just a guy with short hair and a regular beard and just, that's it. He looks like a nobody, is what I'm saying. We've said it again. Russo said it best. He looks like a cab driver. And then I'm looking at Kevin Owens, the messy beard, the spiked hair, the shorts, just the complete lack of physique. He does. He looks like a guy who, when Russo said this, it really was hilarious. He looks like his next door neighbor when he comes outside in the morning to get his paper. He just looks like an average guy. In fact, he looks like a bum. It's almost like a joke that that's the world champion, or he was the world champion. And you've got these two guys in the ring, and this is your main event right before, this is the last match right before Mania, a match that they've already shown 16 times, and they've discredited themselves by having a match where it was what was it, SummerSlam, where they said it was gonna be their last match ever. So there you go again. They have another match just because it doesn't mean anything. We'll have a match, another match. And, and this is not going to be the last time we see Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. So Jericho cost Owens the match. Zayn gets the schoolboy roll-up, and Zayn's the winner. There you go. I mean, I cannot believe that I actually had to sit here and watch another Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match. That is just completely outrageous that I have to see another one of these matches. And so there you go. Then you've got Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, and my God, I don't know how anybody gets hyped up for these Paul Heyman promos time and time again. I've said it. Just let Brock talk on the mic. I was listening to when he used to talk on SmackDown as the champion. He's not a bad promo guy. He can talk. Let the guy have the mic. Heyman is doing the same routine day in and day out. Every single night he goes out there and he says the same fucking script over and over and over and over. It's not creative. It's not fun to listen to. It's annoying. It's like a chore. You have to get Brock from point A to point B. Heyman has to come in and do the same song and dance, and it doesn't even mix it up in any way. Goldberg comes out. He says he's going to take care of Brock before Mania. He's going to give a little bit of a show before Mania. So what happens? Goldberg comes out. He gives this tiny ass little spear. No, it wasn't even a spear. I refuse to qualify that as a spear. That was a fucking tackle. That was nonsense. And then after that, that's it. Goldberg gets in the ring. Lesnar leaves holding his stomach, and that is it. That's it. That was the show. That's how they ended it. Goldberg in the ring celebrating after a cheap ass spear that didn't even look like one. I was like, that's it. That's the spear right there. It was basically Lesnar comes. He's not even running. He's walking. And Goldberg just knocks him down. Goldberg didn't even run to do that spear. How did Brock Lesnar get knocked down by that shit? That is a fucking joke. This is your main event right here. Brock and Goldberg, and it was that lame. That was just completely lame. That is your universal match that they've been building since Survivor Series. This is a match that, has more build-up. It actually happened since WrestleMania 20. So you have all these years of build-up. 13 years of build-up. And you're just going to do that right before Mania, not have a big brawl, just have a little spear. I swear to God, there is no way their match could be any worse than it was at WrestleMania 20. But I'm really starting to think that maybe it might be. Because I don't know. So far, we've seen very little of Goldberg. Just Survivor Series and at Fastlane, just 2 moves and he wins the match. And I like Goldberg, but the thing is, it's like, are they going to even give us a match? Or is it just going to be Brock Lesnar? How much you want to bet they do this cheap-ass thing where Brock Lesnar just squashes Goldberg in the main event? How much you want to bet they try to pull that crap? If they do that, that is complete fucking garbage. But I know it's going to happen. I know that that's what they're going to try to pull. They're going to try to do that. They're going to try to do a reversal of roles. Like, okay, now Brock gets his revenge and he gets to beat Goldberg, the same way Goldberg beat him. They're going to try to do that, super to the point, poetic type of booking, and it's going to be complete fucking garbage, and it's not going to go over well. I know some people like the way they booked the Survivor Series main event, but I didn't, and I know a lot of other people didn't either. So there you go. There's your Raw. What a waste of fucking time. It really was. There was nothing here, nothing at all that got me excited for Mania. It did not get me pumped. If anything, it made me more critical of Mania. I was actually saying to myself, oh, you know what? Mania might be a good show. And sometimes they do pull off a decent show. They usually do at Mania. As much as all these years I've said that, the build-up is bad, it looks like it's going to be bad, they always seem to pull off enough stuff, even last year, where I don't completely hate it. Or it's just like, Mania could just be alright, it's decent, you know, it never ends up being terrible. I haven't seen a terrible Mania in a long time. You know, like a completely horrible Mania. I wasn't even that crazy about the Mania I went to see 29, but it wasn't like the worst show of all time. Anyway, this show was just, it was boring. There was nothing here. I'm watching a Sami Zayn Kevin Owens match right before a big show. Are you telling me that this is the best that they could do? This is the best they could put together? You would think that after all the shit for months and months that they could at least get their shit together for one good show, one go-home show before Mania. They can't even do that. They can't even at least put their eggs all into one basket and give us a good show. They can't even muster that up. They can't even give us an above average show. They have to still give us the same low quality garbage. There is no effort here. There's no effort going into these shows. It is just like sleepwalking. They think that, you know, just the namesake of Mania is going to get it by, and it probably will a little bit. You know, they're still going to have that namesake to it, but it's still going to be bad build-up at the end of the day. You know, and you're not going to make a lot of people excited, and you're going to get a lot of people who are just not going to bother with this show. Because they're like, fuck it, WWE doesn't even care about their own show. Why should I? That's the question I'm asking. Why should we even care if WWE doesn't even put any effort into this? Like I said, take a look in your spare time at the WrestleMania 17 video package. How much they cared about their main event. How much they cared that they made sure everything was done right leading up to that match. For the big Stone Cold return, to have the big match where he wins the title back. And they wanted to make you excited, so they made sure every Raw and SmackDown was a crucial selling point. That's how it used to be. Every Raw and SmackDown was a crucial selling point to selling a pay-per-view. And they did this even in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. They've done it for years. But somewhere along the way, they just completely said, fuck it, we're not going to try anymore. And they think that just the match itself is enough to get people watching. And it's not. This was a low-energy, slow, just uninteresting show. There was nothing here to get you excited for. So, not a lot has changed. It's still garbage. Seriously, expect people to sit through 3 hours of this garbage and expect you to watch 5 hours more of this? It is WrestleMania, so like I said, even I am going to check the show. Not just check it, I'm going to watch the whole show. I will sit there, I'll watch the show because it's Mania. I feel guilty as a wrestling fan not sitting there and watching Mania. But the thing is, it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, come on, at least give me something leading up to it. At least give me a reason to care. There was no reasons to care. They were like, alright, you've got these matches, we're not going to even try. And the way that the show goes off the air is probably one of the most pathetic displays I've ever seen. With a half-ass spear and Brock Lesnar looking like, you know, like he got hit with a hammer right in the head. What a load of bullshit there. I mean, that's total nonsense. You can't just end the show with that garbage. Get out of here with that crap. Anyway, motherfuckers, I will see. I'm going to do a WrestleMania predictions video. I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think is going to win the matches. There you go, motherfuckers. You got a Raw review out of me. Till next time.